Alright guys, welcome back to another video here. Today we're gonna switch up a little bit. We're gonna be doing an unboxing video here of Xbox Series, it's an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. You're gonna see it very shortly here, but let's get started with the unboxing. Alright, so here we go with the box. The outside of the box here is, directly a huge, I would say a pretty decent sized box. As you can see, that's where your view here. Has the picture of the controller from the outside of it and says the name and who it's by. Now, one thing about that I'm kind of disappointed is the fact that this is sold by Microsoft, who of course makes Xbox, but yet this should be the controller that comes with the new Series X controller, but it doesn't. But along with this, we're also going to compare it to the Xbox One X controller, which is my current one, which I have with my Xbox One X Battlefield Edition controller. We're going to compare how they actually are, and this thing, if this actually is worth 250 bucks. Now I got it for the Black Friday deal, which is 180, but make sure you get this. It's very, very good and limited supply apparently. But might as well go ahead and start unboxing it. I did cut it open from the front, so I need to do that. First thing you see is the cover of it, which is where the Xbox controller is in. Now, first thing you will notice is that this thing weighs a lot. As soon as you pick it up, it weighs a lot. Okay, so this noticeably is a big difference between the controller, and I haven't even touched it yet. Now, I'm zipping it. Now, one thing this reminds me of, if you ever had an iPhone and you actually took the phone out the box that it comes in when you first buy it, it's basically the same type of process. You're not exactly taking it out of a cover like this, but really this reminds me of that type of feel, and I really like that, like a modern feel. You're not just opening a box and boom, there's a controller. No, there's a cover for it as well, but there's a meaning for this. This cover box actually is a charging port on where you can actually put the controller in. Now, if you first open it here, you can obviously see the beautiful controller here, which looks a little bit more different and better than the previous Xbox Elite controller. First thing you notice that's a lot more different is the new D-pad, and also these grips, a highly noticeable grip, and the quality that's on this controller, and the weight. This thing weighs a lot, and one big noticeable difference is because from the old Elite controller and this one is that this is a complete full-on battery controller, meaning there you can't take the battery out. Okay, it's not like with this one where you can just pop it open. Okay. You can pop it open, put like a battery in. Now, this actually is a chargeable battery, so this actually lasts up to 40 hours of gameplay. Now, that can be a lot more less when you are doing, when you are playing with your headphones inside the jack. It may lower the battery life down a little bit more, maybe a few more hours, but not drastically. Now, the quality on this thing is absolutely amazing. I think it's preferably the best quality controller that I ever touched, and I have quite a few of them. Definitely a lot more better than this complete full-on plastic controller. Now, the most grip that this controller actually has, the Xbox One X, is this little grip right here. There's a grip right here and grip right here, but it's not even noticeable at all. You can't even feel it unless you're looking at it with a close zoom, and that's it. But with this, you can obviously tell there's this grip here and this grip here, and it comes onto the back, as you can see. Now, one of the things that is pretty cool with the Xbox Series 2 Elite controller is that these thumb pads can actually come off. Now, I did play with it for a little bit. As you can see, I do have them mixed up. These two thumb pads are not the same. That's because you can mix them up with these that are actually inside of here. Now, I have this one. You pop right out and it comes right in, and it's really not a big deal. Put it back and just go ahead and keep on playing. It's like a magnet inside of it. Do the same thing for this side. If you want to change it out, put it back or put it inside of one of these holes here. Take out one you think it feels better in your hand and start playing. Personally, I think this one feels better in my right thumb, just because it's a lot more flat and I'm able to move a lot more better or look around a lot more better, which is usually what you do with the right stick here. And I like this one because of the fact that I just like the feel of it in my hand. It feels a lot more comfortable. I think I can move it a little bit more better than the other ones here. So personally, this is my customization for this controller as far as the D-pads. Now, if you don't want this new 3D dimension shape here for the regular D-pad here, you can use the original one, which you got to use this little tool here to pick it up. I might as well do it. Pick it up here pick it up and just snap it right onto there. And you can tell there's a magnet just because when you get this close to it, it already starts pulling it towards inside of it. Now this is how the Series 2 or the Series 1 controller was. Actually did have this regular D-pad, and I personally don't like this one because of one reason. Now when I take this back out, I don't even have to do that. I can just take it. Okay, this one's like more difficult to take out. There we go. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now the only reason why I don't like this traditional one, which is actually on all of these Xbox controllers, is because of the fact that this 3D one actually does have a shape on the bottom, but this 3D one has multi-functions. Basically, if you want to, I don't know for what reason you wish to press up in the little corner here to go up 2 times, instead of just pressing like this and then this, you can just press this and you go up right and then up and right, basically skipping the 2 step, I guess. But I just like that part better, especially when you're trying to get, scrolling through a YouTube video or Netflix or whatever. That can be a lot more easier to get to a video instead of doing all of this crap. I don't know, just a little more I don't know, I just don't know the reason of it. And I also think it looks a lot more better than the traditional D-pad as of there. Now as you can see here, it has 3 lights here, well 3 little circles, cylinders, whatever you want to call them here, right under this little button here. Now this button here is for settings, okay? Now if you power on the controller, which I did, I connected to my Xbox to make sure it's all set up and I have completely customized the way I want it to be. Now if I turn it on, these do light up. Now there's 3 different settings that you can have. There's 3 regular ones that are all the same. Now when you go into the Xbox, if you go into the Xbox controller app on your Xbox, you can go through and it will show you what controller you have access here, and it will say Xbox Elite Series 2. You click that, go through the settings, and you can customize everything in this controller. And you can customize if you press X. Instead of pressing, when I press X, I can change it so where I just open my Xbox tray. I'm gonna close that real quick. But you can literally I went off track here, but if I can set up so where if I press X, I can literally jump or something. I can make it so where if I press X instead it means A, or if I press A it means Y, or if I want to, like, how you aim in Call of Duty and how you aim here, if I press X I can aim like that. So you can change anything. All of these I can make it so where this is for looking and this is for moving. You can change all of that. And I think that's a pretty amazing thing. Now getting back to here, which is my favorite pieces here, which I use a lot, especially in Call of Duty. You can change these pieces here so where you can actually make it so where customize whichever buttons you want this to be. You can make this an aim button or an X button or an A button for either one of these. Now I have this, I believe I have this as my A button, I have this as my X button, and I have this as my B button, I have this as my Y button, and I just prefer it that way. And you can have 3 different settings, however you want it. And that's what these come in. I can, if I want none of them, the regular base controller, no settings, these don't get used and none of that stuff, this puts it where all the lights are off. I want the setting 1 or profile 1, you can name each one. Basically I can just press that for profile 1, profile 2, or profile 3. I put mine to profile 3 just because I like all the lights on, so I made mine profile to the number 3. Like I said, I have mine set up to the 3rd one because I like all the lights on. It looks really, I think, to my standards, that should look pretty good. I just think everything else feels very high quality. This actually is real metal and everything, so really there's something that you don't like about it. You won't find something that you hate about it, most definitely not. Maybe some things you don't prefer. Now I'd say one thing I don't like, and I think they could have improved, and it was actually these buttons. They were actually the same exact one that's on here, which is fine. I just think it could have been better if they made these a little more high quality. They made everything else was completely better high quality except these, which makes a lot of noise when you're spamming it or whatever you're doing. And that's just, I guess that's one thing I don't like about it. Now that's just me nitpicking. Everything else is completely flawless. The quality is flawless. The weight is actually, I think, is fairly weighted over. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. Everything is just perfect around. I really prefer this over any controller that I ever had. The battery life explains it all. 40-hour battery life without any accessories plugged into it. And I think that's just amazing. And really, all you need is a Bluetooth headset, and you'll be perfectly fine. You can have a headset with a mic hooked up to your Xbox Bluetooth and still have this with a 40-hour battery life, and it's completely amazing. Now this does have Bluetooth with the new built-in battery, just like all the other controllers do, along with this one. Hook it up to anything you really want, your phone, your computer, your desktop, and basically do whatever you really want. Now this does come with a USB-C charging port instead of this, I forgot the name of this one, but this is usually I call it an Android charger. It's what the old Android phones used to charge with, or some tablets. Now this is, if you have an iPhone, this is like the same size, not the same size, but the same look, but it's like a lot much more bigger. Now if you have the iPad Pro Max, whatever it's called, the biggest iPad by Apple, this actually does fit. I can charge the same wire with my iPad Pro, and that's, I guess, convenient enough. But besides that, really, it comes with its own wire. I already have it hooked up in the spot I actually want it to be. And the way I would charge this thing is actually, I'll keep mine inside of the box, not literally inside the box. I will keep it out like this, and I have it on top of my TV stand right next to my Xbox. And when it comes down to charging it, I just close it up, put it inside, and plug it in to the back of here and charge it just like that, and it automatically charges as soon as you set the charger down, the controller down on top of the charging thing. Now the charging port here is actually magnetic connected to this case here, so you can take it out and basically plug it in wherever you seriously want. Now I can put this wherever I want and just have the controller set to that, and it automatically is connected just like that by a magnet, and you put the wire right there and it connects and it charges the controller. But I prefer inside of the case here. I just think it looks better and it just fits better. It fits here for a reason, and I'm gonna use it, okay? But like I said, these pieces don't move. They just don't move at all, and I just think that this whole package design is absolutely amazing, and I just really wish that the new Series X Xbox had this controller with it. Now it already costs a lot, around 500, not my bad, yeah, around 500, maybe 538 with tax and express shipping if you do get it. So that's a lot of money, and you would expect to get a good controller like the PlayStation 5 has, but this should be the controller with it. If this came with the Xbox Series X Xbox, it will be a whole lot more better. But no, you're basically getting a controller like this with better design, not better design, but better materials and a share button, and that's it. When really you can get this amazing gaming controller put in with that amazing console. But that's on the developers for not doing that. Meanwhile, PlayStation 5 is getting that awesome controller along with their PlayStation. But that is going to be about here for this unboxing video here. I suggest getting this controller, especially if you're getting the new Xbox. This is going to be amazing. You will love it. Trust me. This controller works perfectly, and I think it's about even with the new PlayStation 5 controller. Now, the PlayStation 5 controller does have more features, but yet again, this is definitely a good contender, better than this. But if you guys like the video, hit the like button, of course, share it for all your friends, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next video. Peace.